What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Estate Podcast, episode 226. I'm here with Griffin,
Here with Trav.
I'm here with Adam.
and this week we're making no sudden moves.
No sudden move.
He's like, I want to ride in the back.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't riding in the back with him. He's got to ride up front.
So I can
He's
have
like,
my
"Just get
gun
the
out.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody trusted anybody, and for good reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little like mystery crime, drama that was happening here, and I understand why it got like a streaming release, right? Like I get it,
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it was very well done. Had a fucking great cast, right?
Yeah.
Like a amazing cast.
Very underused cast.
Oh yeah, I mean to an extent. Benicio del Toro,
Well, I'm saying like it felt like the movie was made by somebody who had some sort of nepotism where they could be like, I'm gonna get all these really good actors and actresses and everybody, and then I'm just gonna use them very minimally. Because like it's like it was like it almost suffered from too much star power.
I mean, I didn't even realize that dude was David Harbour until
Oh, you
he
didn't?
leaves the house. Like when he leaves the house, like and they're going to get the documents.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, okay, because like every time I've seen him, he's been like chubby.
Kind
You
of
know
chunky.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this, he
Facial
was
hair.
like, yeah,
Got glasses on. He's all cleaned up.
yeah, he's a nerd. You know?
Numbers guy.
Yeah, numbers guy.
Well, it
He
was
likes
a Steven
numbers.
Soderbergh movie, so that's. I mean, he pretty much can get anybody he wants to come out, right?
I mean, yeah, for sure, right?
Like that looks good on the resume.
Like he calls and goes, "Do you think Brad Pitt would mind being an extra in my movie?"
And they were going to let him play in the movie, but he couldn't gain all the weight, so they gave it to Brendan Fraser.
Well,
He did chunk up for that role, though.
he did. Yeah.
Like, he did that for that role.
Yeah.
This was the one. He fucking did it, man.
And his performance, I mean, he was knocking it out of the party.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Knocking it out of the park. I think that everybody did a great job. I think that like they kept it very kind of low key. But still gave a very interesting plot device of this document. And then when you find out
A
what the
catalytic
document
converter.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Griffin.
Griffin.
Come on, man. That was garbage. I mean, real events or not, like that's. I'd have been okay if they'd never revealed what was in the suitcase.
I mean, I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well, it happened, right? I mean, not like
Yeah.
this story, but people, they were fighting over that shit
Yeah.
got all mobby and shit.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I couldn't understand. So, the older black guy with the cane,
Yeah.
so he went in there and he was like,
Lucius.
yeah, y'all can keep the money. I want him and I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he took him out there. I thought they were really going to kill him.
I did.
No.
And they gave him
dude,
$5
no.
grand to let him leave. I just couldn't understand
That
why.
Well, that was his big move, man. Is that they were gonna take care of their own, dude.
I knew
Literally.
that chick was going to fuck him over.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I thought when he was like, go get the car, I was like, all right, now's your chance. Slip off with the money.
Yeah.
Because like if you think about the way that kind of mobster would think, he'll be goddamn if he lets someone that he's after get taken out by a bunch of white people.
Oh, yeah. By some peckerwoods.
Like, yeah, like, and he knew what was gonna come afterwards with all that too, possibly. because
Yeah.
you can't forget the era this is taking place in. So
Yeah.
Don Cheadle wasn't. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, when he cuts that suitcase open, that's his fucking green book.
Yeah.
Something about the codes. Well, I didn't even get what they were like. It's got the codes in it. I'm like, the codes for
well,
what?
no, that's his book. So this is the way I understood it. So
Like all the
Don
secrets?
Cheadle, well, that's all the money that's all the people that he's ever owed money to and that's ever gave him money. And that's like his address book and everything. So it's got contacts. So anybody that's had any dealings with this guy is going to be inside this book.
Yeah.
So that means if the cops find out
Yeah, if
about
it
this
gets in the
book,
wrong hands.
yeah, it's going to be bad. Like they're going to see that he's playing all these different sides. And to me, dude wanted his book back
Yeah.
because, like, at the end of the day, if that shit got out to the wrong person, if they killed him and took that book off of him and knew what that was, then he's fucked. Like that whole organization is dead. And I think that, like, you know, it's kind of like whenever he let dude live and he's like, all right, here's what happened. He was, you know, coming at you, you shot him, and then you shot him 2 more times. You know, you got the gun away from him. When I need you, you be there. And this
Well,
is
they
how this
realized
is
it
going
was
to
a
go.
setup.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't that Macaulay Culkin's brother?
Yeah. He did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw him and I was like, oh shit, another motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
So they knew that was a setup though when all that happened.
Yeah.
There was like
and
2 or 3 people playing each other here, and it's like, all right.
Yeah. Well, and you could tell that from the beginning as well, where it's like, okay, they're paying Don Cheadle, they're paying him what, a total of $5,000. They're paying Benicio's, they're paying him like, what was it,
It was
7,500?
definitely more.
Yeah, and then we don't even know how much, you know, Macaulay Culkin's brother got paid for his, but like each one of them had kind of a different job. Like, you know, Don Cheadle was just there to be there, you know.
Yeah, hired gun.
Yeah.
Muscle.
But I took the book situation as that. Like, he took the book, dude wanted him dead, he wanted his book back, but he also knew that he was going to be in a position to where he could give that book to him, where a lot of influential motherfuckers are going to be.
Yeah.
And he's going to give it to him in good faith.
I mean,
that's why they let him go.
It's 1954. It's probably going to be hard to get One Eye Sammy's number again, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly, right. Yeah. So that's, you know, where I got that. And he's the one that came out on top, but I figured that, I mean, once everybody started dying and shit started going south, I'm like, yeah, either everybody's going to die or the only person that's going to get out is Don Cheadle, you know? And that's exactly what happened, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, I enjoy the ride of like finding out what's going on, what the documents mean, and then you like get wrapped up in this weird, like, David Harbour's character is banging the receptionist, right?
Yeah.
And then
she's in on it.
Yeah, and did you think that his wife was banging the neighbor chick?
They had a weird. She was like, "We could go away together."
Yeah,
just me and you.
Yeah,
and then she got real close to her. Yeah, I felt that little something there.
They definitely finger banged each other at some point, right?
Scissor sisters.
Husbands at work.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Was it her sister?
Scissor sisters.
I thought you said it was her sister.
No.
I'm like, fuck, I completely misread that. But I mean, to me, that's, you know, everybody's banging everybody, everybody's screwing everybody over. Who can you trust? You know, they rip the document in half, you keep your half. Then we got fucking dude showing up. What's his name? God damn, it's right there, and then it just went away. The Frankie, the fucking
Oh yeah, Frankie.
Can't be a mob film without a Frankie.
Yeah, and that Frankie. I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So Benicio's banging his old lady.
Yeah.
And he tricked him into telling him.
Yeah.
He's like,
you got the fucking crap. Yeah.
And he's like, what? I didn't know.
Yeah. I didn't know. Your name Veronica? Vanessa. Yeah. The way she looked at him.
Yeah, when she walked by.
Yeah.
I better not blow this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's like, "You'll be blowing me later." Oh,
Yeah. Ray Liotta. That's what I was thinking
that's
of.
it.
Yeah.
When he was like, "If he better not go home."
Yeah.
Almost like when they make these kind of films, Ray Liotta just comes with the studio.
I think he's
Shows
part of
up
the
on set
package.
that day.
Yeah, like he's in the
He
studio's
was already
contract.
on
They're like,
set.
oh, they're like, all right, we'll have your catering from Chipotle. We'll have some guys there on Wednesday from this company. Oh yeah, Ray Liotta's going to be in the movie too.
Well, when they're
We're
in the prop
also
department, he's just standing there. Hey,
they got to turn him on like he's an
yeah, you need
animatronic
a
now.
Frankie?
Elon Musk comes in. Let me show you this Ray Liotta model I built.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I've got 5.
He built it with Bitcoin.
Look, I
Yeah.
brought my flamethrower just in case they don't pan out, in case it becomes self-aware.
But yeah, and it's, seeing the whole little love triangle thing and shit happening, like, it wasn't necessarily needed to progress the film, but especially the receptionist had a lot going on, like with the story to an extent, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, it was nice to see like they were going to steal that shit from him and sell it themselves,
Yeah.
and then they were just going to leave town.
Yeah.
And then he didn't
Everybody
have the
was fucking
balls.
everybody over.
Yeah. Or fucking them, like literally.
Yeah.
Which is fine,
Like a movie written by Robert California. It's all about sex.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't hate it, man. I mean, like I said, I understand why it got released to streaming, but I love films like this. Like I love like Little Gangster, like, and it was like I said, like the catalytic converter thing and all that stuff. It's like, you could look at it as being like super cheesy or whatever, but like I'm like, well, that's different. I never thought that like that it was that bad.
Well,
You
I
know what I
had no
mean? Like
idea that all went down. Like
yeah,
that they actually got in trouble for trying to hide it, and
yeah,
that
Well, they're trying to
all
cash
of them
in
came
on
together.
proprietary technology.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like Matt Damon.
So
He slid that
Damon.
fucking briefcase. He said, "This one hurts,"
Yeah.
and they were
He
like,
said,
"What was
I
it?"
make money in my sleep.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll just call the banker, and he'll say there's more." It's like a lizard's tail.
Yeah. Damn thing just keeps growing back. I'm like, I wish I had those problems.
Yeah, whenever John Hamm shows up at the end, gives you the money back, he's like, "You want a bottle of whiskey?" It's like, "Of course." John Hamm's drinking.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised his dick didn't make an appearance, So, but,
I definitely wouldn't like if someone's like, "Hey, recommend me some gangster films." This ain't one of them. Like this is one of the ones that like this is one of the films you get to after you've gotten past the classic, the popular. Once you skim the surface and get all of those under your belt, and you start delving deeper. I mean, sure, I could recommend it there, but I wouldn't be like, "Hey, check this out. It's a gangster film." And
Yeah, I mean, it ain't no Goodfellas.
No, but I would be, if someone asked me for recommendations for a gangster film, I'm under the assumption that they've done their homework already.
Yeah.
Like legit. I'm under the assumption that Goodfellas, Casino, like all pretty much Martin Scorsese's like
Yeah, so you're talking
extended
about a new
catalog's been
gangster
hit.
movie.
Yeah,
Here's one that
like
just came
something.
out.
Yeah. I mean, because like, realistically, when's the last time that we got like a gangster movie? I mean, I know we get one or two a year, but like
Irishman.
That's the last one that hit my mind.
So, and that came out what, in 2018, 2019?
Something like that.
It's been several years, so that's why, like, we get one every so often. It's kind of like a Western, you know? So, I mean, I appreciates it, but, I mean, I don't know. I love Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, and Don Cheadle did a good job.
Yeah, and seeing him and Don Cheadle together like that, I don't think I've ever seen them in a film like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever seen. They've been in a film together.
I think they were in like Traffic together, maybe, or something like that. But Traffic is different stories.
Yeah.
So let me see. I think it said it in the trivia. Sebastian Stan, John Cena, Nicolas Cage, and George Clooney were originally cast, but were forced to drop out due to scheduling conflicts after the movie shoot was delayed from spring to autumn due to COVID-19.
Damn.
No, it was Brendan Fraser and Don Cheadle were last together in the movie Crash.
Okay.
Steven Soderbergh and Benicio del Toro worked together in Traffic, which Traffic is a fucking amazing movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, Traffic's really good.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I didn't hate it. I just enjoyed the ride. I was in it from the beginning, especially when they put the masks on. You know? And he's like, it's like they put those masks on and their nose immediately got bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It looked like something you buy at the dollar store now. Like, but
it looks like the mask that goes like with the little gun.
Yeah.
You get like a little package. It's got it all in there.
Yeah.
1950 robber. And it just went wrapped right back around the ears. I'm like, where you get your robbery mask at? I get them at the convenience store on 75th Street,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It had some pretty funny parts in it though too. He's like, fucking David Harbour's like, can I have my car back? And they're like, we like your car. He's just this look on his face. He's like, motherfucker, man. So after this is all said and done, I mean, Don Cheadle lives, David Harbour, and his wife, and all that shit happens.
Yeah,
so like,
broken home.
I mean, do you think that like after all the crazy shit, because like to be for real, his wife was like calm, collected, and cool.
Yeah, always smoking cigarettes, drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, like she wasn't overly freaking out though. She was just like, they wearing masks. If they wanted us dead, they wouldn't wear masks and all this shit. Like.
When he put that fucking blanket over that woman, he's like, "Sorry, it's been a long day."
He's like, I gotta relax.
He covered her with it so he could take his mask off and drink his scotch,
Or he goes in there to beat the shit out of that guy, and he goes, "I'm fixing to punch you."
He really didn't want to do it.
No,
give me the document, man.
Yeah,
these guys are gonna kill my family. That's all you gotta say.
Well, you could tell neither one of them were gonna die from like the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie. Because once you realize that the stakes that were raised for David Harbour were like not coming through or being, like none of his family died, no one he knew died. He had nothing that kept him in the game other than just fear.
Yeah.
And by like the last 30 minutes of the film, considering like there wasn't that classic thing at the end of movies where like just this quick succession of people dying.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't really there at all. And the fact that Don Cheadle, went from criminal to a bleeding heart hero, just because, crazy, Culkin was fucking waving his gun, you're like, okay, he's got a moral compass. He's not as cutthroat,
Yeah.
And you had Del Toro that, and I guess he's one of the big reasons where I'm like, man, they kind of wasted him because
he played an idiot.
I mean, well, that too, but mainly just because mainly because Del Toro, regardless of your flavor of him, his flamboyant and his batshit crazy characters are his best. That's his best. That's his zone, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love it when he's just fucking unhinged.
When he hams it up.
Or when he's in like a calm reserve, but does batshit crazy stuff like in Way of the Gun.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I love the roles like that he plays. Sicario was like, you can tell the movies he does for like a paycheck.
Right.
Like Star Wars, one dimensional as fuck in it.
What is it?
I mean, dude, the small amount of screen, even the small screen time he had in Marvel, he was still very like, you could like when he was on screen, you were like, what is this motherfucker about to say?
Yeah.
Like you gave a fuck about what the collector was gonna, because and you know, for me, I feel like for a large group of people, he's always gonna be the lawyer. Like, no matter how many films he makes, you're always going to think, as your lawyer, I recommend.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, with all of those roles in mind, like, sure, toning it down is good, but it's almost like, I don't know, I'll just go back to what I said earlier. Like, I feel like Homeboy got all these phenomenal actors, and that all like every goddamn one of them, you could crank them up to 11, and it would be like, holy shit, these guys are all like, they're all coming at us with the fucking, you know, because this is a movie that would have been for all of these characters who have moments in films of the past where they can really lay in a long fucking page and a half of dialogue. It's like having all these badass instruments that can really fucking go the distance, and you just turn everything down. You mix everything softly. Oh yeah, it's there, but like, you know, kind of like any of your favorite tracks featuring one of your favorite artists, and they're only in it for 2 lines, and you're like, that was a waste. But I mean, it wasn't an awful film. I just expected more from such a cast.
Yeah, I get that. But I don't know. Like I don't. For me personally, going into it, like I had no expectations. Like I didn't even know it was a Soderbergh film until the credits were happening at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, so I didn't have it overly hyped in my head. I just thought, well, this might be a cool little crime film. It's got Don Cheadle, who always delivers. It's got Benicio that always delivers. It's got, you know, Brendan Fraser, like one of his comebacks. You know,
yeah.
It's got, you know, Ray Liotta, of course, being fucking Ray Liotta. You're fucking him. I knew it. You know, like
he was playing Ray Liotta for sure.
Yeah, you can't just waltz into the Marriott and gun a man down type of guy, you know.
Yeah. But all in all,
and I mean,
me,
I had no expectations on the film at all, really. But I mean, when you got that lineup, man, you better be throwing some gold bars on the table, because you've got the capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I mean, if I have to rate it, I'm gonna give it a star. I might be the only one that gives it a star, but like, after all the fucking stupid ass shit that's been going on, I was able to sit down. I was able to sit down and unplug for a minute and just enjoy the ride that it took me on. And maybe if I went back and watched it through a different lens, I might be more critical of the film, you know? But just because of like all the fucking nonsense shenanigans, it was nice to like, because when I watched Suicide Squad, you know, I was in a little bit of pain and everything, but like I enjoyed the film, but I wasn't able to sit down and enjoy it and turn everything off because there was that fucking throbbing happening.
Yeah,
you know
and then
I mean?
In your head, you know, I'm about to fucking pass a kidney stone.
Yeah, exactly.
So just sitting around thinking that all the time is no fun.
Yeah. Like
and now my computer's fucked up, you know?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah, welcome to Earth, bitch, you know?
Now, did y'all see the thing at the end where it said in memory of?
No, I didn't see that.
It's like in memory of Craig Grant. That was Jimmy.
No,
you remember the black guy? He got on the balcony and he was like, "I'll fucking shoot you in the gut, throw you over this motherfucker, dude. Who took the thing out on me?"
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy passed away in March.
Damn, man.
I tried to look it up, see if it was like, you know, Rona related.
Yeah.
But there was no.
There's no official confirmation on it.
Nah.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna give it a full star. Just but like, and I may revisit this like in a couple of weeks, and I may change my star. I mean, I've changed a star, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I did it with fucking Funny Games, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I wasn't a
but
bad
yeah,
movie.
right. No, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know, maybe it was just, you know, just a collection of things that made me enjoy it a little bit more, you know. So.
Well, if I do give it a half star, which is sounds like Griffin already knows what's going to happen, I think Trav's going to give it a half. It's a 2-star movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
the
would even
ratings
say it's a
weren't
star and
good.
a half.
I will say that. When I saw the ratings, and I kind of wish, because when I saw the ratings, I was like, damn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
A Soderbergh movie, you know, with this kind of cast.
Well,
like when you look at the picture for the movie, the artwork, there's not enough room for the names, man. They're gonna have to make another line, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a shitload of people.
Yeah.
In a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
John
like
Hamm.
I said, I mean, I get why it was released to streaming.
Well,
like
HBO funded it, I think.
I thought it came out on Apple.
No, it's HBO.
Oh, it is?
I think they funded it. And then here's probably what happened. The original cast you said earlier, that probably would have hit theaters.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they were able to do this with $8 million. I say that's that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really
having
good,
all these people, which I'm sure some of them had probably didn't get paid what they normally get paid.
I'm saying what, like at an $8 million budget, because I have no knowledge on this movie's production. $8 million being the budget for it, somebody did some favors.
It was a period piece, man. The cars were on point, clothes, you know.
The way it was shot.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to Adam about this.
Yeah, I'm interested on y'all's take. I'm glad y'all brought that up. I'd forgotten about that point too. What did y'all think about the cinematography?
I loved it.
Griffin's got a little insight on it.
Well, if you go to the IMDb on the trivia section, and I'll see if I can pull it up real quick here.
Because you told me about this before I watched it.
Yeah.
So of course I noticed it. I was like, oh yeah, I can see it. And it was only wide shots.
Yeah.
I noticed some of the close-ups didn't have the stuff around the edges.
Yeah. So the noticeably distorted shots throughout the film are a result of Steven Soderbergh placing wider Koa anamorphic lenses, which already have considerable barrel distortion on their own, on a large VistaVision-sized digital sensor that's 1.5 times the size of the format they were initially designed for, because he wanted to replicate the imperfect lens characteristics and look of the early anamorphic lenses from the area the film takes place in. In fact, the film has the unusual aspect ratio of 2.16 to 1 because it was initially planned to be framed in the more traditional 2.40 to 1 anamorphic ratio. But the barrel distortion on some of the shots ended up being so distracting that he reframed the entire movie to the trailer frame to make it less noticeable. So to me, I didn't mind I liked it because it had and I noticed
they didn't want it to look like perfectly polished, being set in the 50s.
Yeah,
so I can see why they would do that. And then when they were going to go with that other aspect ratio,
yeah,
it's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
sure,
yeah. I didn't mind it.
I noticed it, and I had none of that knowledge in mind. And while that's cool that he tried to do it, I personally was like, because there were moments where it was almost so you could see the I'm probably saying the word wrong. You could see it where it was so concaved a little bit, where whenever it would be a pan shot, and you would see shit get real skinny and then real wide.
Well, it was almost like a fisheye effect.
Yeah, and the first half of the film, I was like, okay, and in the wide shots, I'm like, that's cool, but after a while, I was like, this is kind of giving me a headache.
Yeah, I didn't have a headache feeling on it. Because I first noticed it when the film starts and you see dude walking down the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, there's something different going on here. Like, are they using a fisheye lens?
Yeah.
But it didn't. It wasn't as intense as a
No.
fisheye. Like, not at all.
It wasn't Viva La Bam. You know?
No, dude.
I don't think reformatting it really helped it, because I mean
Like,
clearly
by
smarter
stretching it.
people, like smarter people than I clearly have probably considered all of this shit too. But I think, at least cinematically, they should have went. I can't remember what movie it is that Nolan did, but down to the editing, when it would cut to certain shots and things like, you could visually see the aspect ratio change on screen
And
when
they
you're
left
watching
it.
it. I think they'd have been better off with that.
Yeah. Well, that would have been very interesting to see it play out like that. I think they did that in Interstellar, right?
It was either for some reason I'm drawn to Interstellar or Inception.
It was one of those for sure.
Yeah. I like to see a cut of the movie like you're talking about, Trav.
You like what he originally wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I felt like that probably would have been a better bet, because those wide shots make it justifiable while the lens is there. You're like, okay, I see what he was going for.
Yeah.
But then you'd have those alleyway scenes where, like, you got skinny. If someone's getting out of the car and they're like, off center to the left, like they're gonna get out. They're gonna like Slender Man, and they close the door, and then they fatten back out.
Yeah.
Where I first noticed it was when they were in the house. When they go in there and they're like, all right, we gotta go get the paper, and they're all standing around, and it's a wide shot,
but
and the camera.
That shot from the door,
well,
the way it goes from like the hallway
when
to
you
the
could
kitchen.
see the phone and stuff on the wall on the sides, I was like, it's skinnier.
I think that's one of those. I think that was one of the first parts I noticed of it too.
Yeah.
Well, he told me about it, so I was looking for it. And I was like, oh yeah, I see it. Like,
yeah.
After a little bit, I was like, what's with this fucking camera angle?
Yeah, I didn't mind it so much though. I kind of enjoyed it, but I would like to see what he was originally going to go for with it. But yeah, I didn't mind it. But yeah, I think it's a 2-star film though all day.
I forgot he was from Atlanta.
Soderbergh?
Yeah.
Steven. He's like, what, guys?
Yeah.
Why? I'm from Atlanta.
Yeah.
You want to hit some movie news real quick?
Yeah.
Well, wait, before we do that, I know both of you guys watched What If, right?
Yeah.
I watched it, but give me some dates on it. You know what I'm saying?
It was pretty good.
It was really good.
I don't want to tell you what happened.
Right.
It's about
but
it retells the first Captain America movie.
Oh, okay. First Avenger.
And the thing about it is that it's not more or less typical animation.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, what sold me is that when it's recreating certain scenes from the first Avenger,
yeah,
it's down to the exact camera shot and the same scene, same everything, just slightly animated. Like everything down to like some of the details of certain characters and what happens to them. Because it is off the whole thing, and this will tell you in the when you pull it up or whenever you pull the summary up on Disney Plus. The movie's concept is what if Peggy Carter got in the machine instead of Steve? And the logic behind it, because when you read it, you're like, but its execution is so well done that it's very, very good.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you too much of what Steve Rogers' role in it comes to play as, because it was just as much. Because for me, it was the best part. Because despite Peggy Carter becoming Captain Britain or Captain Carter, whatever you want, the super soldier.
Yeah.
Despite her becoming the super soldier, Steve Rogers and the ethos of Captain America is absolutely still front and center. He is still Captain America without that shit. Um, and that's very true to his character. That's one of the best way to do his character with him not being Captain America.
Yeah.
And it's just it's like I said, retelling of the first Avenger. So if you remember that movie at all, then you know the iconic scenes that are going to get changed and how they're interpreted differently. And it ends with a nice little bow on it, sets up for, wherever this character may show up again. I've only watched the first episode, but because of the way Marvel does their Easter egg bullshit, I've already got theories as to what I think might happen. I think something that maybe some people don't realize or haven't caught on, in the opening credits, you've got Jeffrey Wright playing Uatu the Watcher.
Yeah.
And he's kind of laying everything out for you about what you're about to. He does his Rod Serling.
I'm the
like,
Watcher.
He does his whole Rod Serling, like, time and space, doorways, come with me to the Twilight Zone. And but there's this particular shot where you see a bunch of glass shards coming at the screen, and in those shards, it's this whole thing of him explaining the multiverse. But when you see them initially, when you see like the glass crack and the animation shows everything flipping, for a brief moment it looks like a spider web, which leads me to believe that even though this is an animated show, some of these particular characters are going to show up in live action form. I want to say there might be some movie news. I haven't looked on the part of our Discord, see if anyone's posted it, but I did read that apparently Haley Atwell has signed on to play Captain Carter in live action. So I can't remember what property she's going to show up in, but there will be some characters coming out of this. So, there's that.
So it's basically billed as a animated. It's kind of showing the alternate realities. So it's kind of billed as like it is what if, but like this is a tangent universe, and this is what happened in this tangent universe, and more or less it's canon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's absolutely.
Okay.
With us coming off,
Oh, yeah.
with us coming off of Loki, you can absolutely see a dual narrative being done with this show. It is what if. It is this whole anthology of, shit that isn't going to obviously go full on live action and whatnot. But what it is doing is, I think it's introducing us to a lot of variants that may show up later.
Okay.
Which
and that makes me way more interested in checking it out, to be honest.
And the animation
it looks
is
really
absolutely
good.
incredible.
It looks really good.
Like it's a nice hybrid form of classic comic book coloring, but with a slight 3D mocap. Like the combat when Peggy Carter or when Captain Carter, her action scenes
She's
are so
whipping
fun to
ass.
watch. They're really fun to watch. Steve's action scenes, because he gets him some punchy time too. He wouldn't be who he is without it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really don't want to spoil the major thing for Captain America, because it's absolutely worth you and experiencing that moment where you're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you're, I really, the last big binge I took in the MCU was I watched the Captain America, what do you want to call it? Machete Order.
Yeah.
Where I watched all the Cap films in chronological order with their various Avenger movies, because I believe Avengers 1 takes place after Cap 1. Age of Ultron takes place after Cap 2. So it was Cap, Avengers, Cap 2, Avengers 2, Cap 3, and then, Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
And so watching it, I kind of had like Captain America, the films and the iconography from that franchise was more in my mind. And
right, yeah,
seeing the things that I saw was more way, it made me be like, oh, that, and oh, I know what that is, and I get
yeah.
that reference.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that
uh,
makes me
uh,
more excited to watch it, to be honest.
the because I went in not really knowing what to expect. I was expecting maybe at best some DC level animation quality,
Yeah,
but you can tell they pumped a lot of money into it. You can tell that by the narratives they're spinning, because it seems like each episode might base itself around a different Infinity Stone. I don't know
okay.
how many episodes this series has got, but I assume that we're gonna get. I hope we get a really crazy alternate end game
Yeah,
that maybe could end on an Empire note where, because the concept is that we won out of 14 million different odds.
yeah.
And so it would be interesting if they do an in-game situation where you see one of the times that we lose and you see just how fucked up it is.
Right,
Yeah, I
yeah.
see here we're doing I think 9 episodes, and the only one that's in all 9 episodes is the Watcher. So it's gonna be the different, you know,
Yeah,
bounce around the different characters.
that makes sense.
And they had the
Do
voice
you
actors come over, dude, like fucking, Sebastian. He's gonna be doing Bucky's
Um,
voice, like,
yeah, the guy who did the voice for Red Skull and
yeah,
the later films,
yeah, the
I
guy
think
from Walking Dead?
yes, he returns as the voice of Red Skull in this episode.
so
Okay.
they didn't shop it
And
out like they do sometimes with animated stuff where it's like just get some no name that kind of sounds like them, you know? Like
yeah,
Yeah,
they had the real actors come in. I didn't even realize that Jeffrey Wright was the one playing the Watcher. That's the Black
um,
Doctor from
well,
yeah,
it's
what you
Bernard
call
Westworld.
him?
from Westworld.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's also Gordon. The guy has really gotten a lot of great roles lately. Like he's gonna be our new Gordon
yeah,
in
dude.
Batman.
The first time I saw
yeah,
that dude was on Boardwalk Empire, and he was a character actor. You know what I mean?
He's got the voice that you want to hear him talk. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
I want an Audible account and find the Jeffrey Wright narrated books and have him, because he's able of like sounding grave and when something needs to sound important, and if he's going into
Inflection.
something, yeah,
he's
his
got a pretty good
inflection
low and
is
slow.
well,
That's for
like,
sure.
because he's got the voice that you want to hear talking when shit gets real, and it's like, all right, here's the exposition, the last bit of exposition that you need, which is the answers going forward. Like, like
Right. Um, do you think that some of the scenes from like the first Avenger from that Captain America movie, they just took those scenes and basically used the model, like use the footage and then like basically painted over the footage
I
to match it?
I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, um, I mean, we're talking about Marvel here, man. If these motherfuckers can't draw, what are they doing? So,
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
but honestly, some of the shots are so shot for shot like the movies that I would not be like. There's a particular scene that stands out. Actually, two, and I want to say the latter. I've seen pop up on YouTube occasionally, but the shot in the very first film where Red Skull pulls up in his car, and it's got the Hydra, um, the custom, piece at the front, the metal thing, and how it just comes into view.
yeah, yeah.
That's exactly from the movie. Completely recreated that way. And also, like the shot I was saying when Peggy gets inside the machine, the super soldier thing does its whatever, shit's going ham around him or her, and when she gets out and everybody's kind of holding their hands up like the dust is settling and they're all kind of looking.
Mm.
All those different shots that it cuts to the different characters gazing back at her and everything, it's all about like it really is the fucking same, man.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely peep that, check it out, because I mean that makes me, like I said, that makes me like 1,000 times more interested in actually going into it, knowing that like, okay, this may not be like Universe 616 canon, but this is canon still, regardless. So that makes me want to check it out that much more
And
for sure.
very seldom in animation, uh, do you see fight scenes where the weight of a punch can be felt,
Yeah,
or the weight of any action for that matter. They captured it beautifully in What If. A lot of animation style fight scenes, they're not necessarily soulless because they've had enough time and character development to make that action worth sitting through and all that shit. But like I don't, like I said, it's really hard to explain. You really, it's definitely an experience in and of itself, because the animation is on par with Spider Verse,
yeah,
and that movie's an acid trip for comic fans.
right.
Um,
Acid Trip, heard it.
I mean, not like the final episodes of Evangelion or anything, because that's a whole other acid trip. But um, it's definitely, yeah, I can't keep prattling on about it. It's good, man. It's worth your time. It's 30 minutes episodes, like
Yeah.
keep it on par with everything else.
Right. Well, speaking of Marvel here, we do have some news here. So, Eternals could release on Disney Plus, according to Kevin Feige, right? And basically, what he's saying is, it depends on how Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings does at the box office. It says that Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has hinted at possible Disney Plus for release for upcoming MCU movie Eternals. Asked whether fans be watching hashtag Eternals at home or in theaters, Kevin or Feige responded with a typical vague answer, suggesting that the studio is somewhat winging it when it comes to release plans and will bend and sway as the ongoing situation dictates.
I got a
I think,
prediction for Shang-Chi when you're done with that.
all right, I think a theater would be my preference, and Eternals director Chloe's preference. Kevin Feige said when asked about the Disney Plus release for the movie before adding a teasing, "We will see where we go with it." So basically, what this comes down to is, with cases on the rise,
Yeah.
if there's another lockdown that happens, they've already slated out like the next. They can't push the Marvel Cinematic Universe off any
No, they
longer,
got to come out.
and I'm Black Widow still made bank.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a dual release or a simultaneous
Oh
release.
yeah.
Um, so they're still going to make their money. They're probably going to make more money, and it would be kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion, for them to go that route with it anyway. I'm kind of surprised Shang-Chi is releasing in theaters, considering like how
The source
woke,
material.
well, just how woke Disney is. It's like if people start going to the theaters and watching Shang-Chi, do they really want the backlash of like, well, this movie had X amount of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people go to the theaters to watch it. The first
Uh.
big budget film that released,
Uh.
and COVID spreading like crazy, so it's all to blame. Marvel's all to blame. Disney's all to blame. Like, I'm honestly surprised that that's happening. To be honest with you.
Well, I think to add to that, I think one thing, maybe the film's not going to take place in the Asian setting as much as it's leading us to believe.
Yeah.
I also think that, and maybe this is me being optimistic, but I'm thinking that because, the movie's been selling pretty hard, that it's just going to be almost like a big budget Jackie Chan film where, he's weaving in and out of buses, he's jumping through windows, he's
Yeah.
making leaps from one spot to the other and kicking ass and fixing his collar while he's doing it, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I think the first half of the film will definitely be that. But with some of the trailers kind of showing the 10 rings in action, uh, part of me is thinking that like the movie's gonna flip halfway through and it's gonna turn into like just a batshit bonkers power fight where, people are shooting energy at each other, key battles, like I don't know any of the source material, so this is absolutely just an ass pull. But I feel like it's being oversold as a martial arts film. And yeah, he's still gonna probably shoot energy beams while doing a spin kick somewhere. But I think it's gonna I think it's because they know the movie's gonna pivot into the third, fourth act being the typical, all right, we've got the characters, the reason to care about Shang-Chi out of the way. Let's be a superhero movie again. And that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
And I mean, and that's fine because that's the Marvel formula and it works.
yeah. Well, I mean, I could see where that happens, but to me, what I kind of how I'm thinking or feeling on it is like, I think a lot of this stuff is going to be flashback stuff. I think like the first half of the film, it's going to be like some shit happening with him, like something happening, and he has a flashback, and it shows him training. It shows him as a child, with his father, all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. And I
Yeah.
think that, I think after that second half of the film, like to me, I see Shang-Chi being a younger hero, it being more or less a coming of age with power type film. I think that they'll wait to go balls out bonkers. They will a little bit, I think, towards the end of the film, but I think that'll be the next Shang-Chi film or the first crossover film that he's in. It's when you're actually going to see full Shang-Chi, because I'm looking at Shang-Chi through the same lens as I'm kind of looking at Spider-Man, because, yes, Spider-Man is younger than Shang-Chi, but Shang-Chi is still younger than the majority, if not everybody else in the MCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be like him trying to come to terms with his power, come to terms with what he's able to do, and
Yeah.
then the scales will start to tip as he progresses through the films and becomes more and more powerful and more in control of his abilities.
And I agree with that definitely in the concept of a sequel because of course you're gonna have all of the origin out of the way. Um, but I definitely see something like you're probably gonna see the Mandarin kill a bunch of fucking people at the cold opening. You're gonna see him use the 10 rings. A lot of people are gonna die, and it's gonna be
Got to get it away from him.
you start seeing the Marvel title card come in, and I feel like the way to add to your geopolitical uh statement on it being released and the circumstances and the current climate of its release. One thing I've noticed about a lot of Asian films is that like they're very quick to be like, okay, character is this stumbling buffoon that has potential for like first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Then his power awakens, whatever character you want to put into that fixture, power awakens and they're cool with it. And suddenly it's like they're fighting like they've had it for fucking decades.
yeah.
They're all about that shit.
Well,
And I feel like this will appeal to it. I think that I think we will get a very Spider-Man level style of storytelling, like you said. I think that's absolutely gonna be the underlying, it's gonna be the spine for the movie for sure. It's gonna be him, being an American, and he gets brushed off into this journey of his older culture and all the things he was trying to. It's gonna be Black Panther, but Asian edition.
yeah, which I'm fine with.
I mean, absolutely. I mean that just like Black Panther was just like Thor, but African American edition.
Yeah,
And because all of the movies where you have somebody going into a seat of power, they all have the same different hero struggles. Most
yeah,
of them don't want it at first. Sure, Thor's story is different in that he was cocky and was ready to take the throne, but Odin was like, "No, bitch, you got some lessons to learn. Go back to Earth for a minute."
yeah. Welcome to
Eh,
Earth.
Um, but ultimately, at the end, you have like he goes through. He has his dark phase. Everybody we're gonna have the moment where they don't really want to do what they're wanting to do, but duty calls, and they're gonna rise to the occasion. And the interesting aspect of Shang-Chi that I'm hoping is that they fill in some Iron Man gaps. I feel like Iron Man's going to be an unexpected aspect of the film. Not necessarily like a Robert Downey Jr. level like cameo or anything for that nature, but we're dealing with the Ten Rings, which is one of the first, literally the first villains of the MCU that we ever saw. Was the Ten Rings terrorist group? Whether they're headed by Kingsley, whether the whole Kingsley fake out was the whole thing behind it or not, they were still acting under that banner, which means that even if Kingsley wasn't put there, the real Mandarin obviously put him there. Like he was a decoy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there's a lot to that, and it's gonna because of shit like that that's gonna get sprinkled through the movie. Maybe I think that's where people might kind of give it a pass. I guess I don't know the right word to give it, but they'll give it a pass. Whereas, I mean, China is gonna complain about that movie regardless of what happens. Regardless. I think anyone that follows China in the news right now knows that. They complained about the Olympics.
Did
Think
they?
about every.
They complained about the Olympics.
Oh yeah, man. There's plenty of
I
articles
mean, they won
online.
some
Just look it
medals. They
up.
just didn't win them most. You
Oh,
know?
they actually have. Well, actually, on their state-run media, they include Hong Kong, Taiwan, and like another province
Oh,
as part of China. So by China's news, they won the Olympics literally because they
yeah.
had those other countries' medals tallied into there. It's a bunch of dumb shit, but
Okay.
it's out there. Um, but I think Hollywood's gonna have to understand that they've got to risk that payout now to be able to make movies for their own audiences instead of relying on a foreign market, which is absolute blasphemy, I know.
Yeah.
But
People there.
especially
Some
with
people will
well,
watch it.
especially with blockbusters, you could I mean for crying out loud, they got mad at Monster Hunter over a joke. Like there was a joke since it was the Chinese Japanese dirty knees look at
Yeah.
these joke,
Yeah, I remember.
which apparently is very racist. And you know, I didn't know that.
I didn't know it
I've heard
was.
it as a kid.
Yeah, I
I
had
mean,
no
I
idea. I
mean,
mean, I guess
as a by now I'm clearly I guess where I can I see it now, but it's
Yeah,
just it's one of
it
those
was
old
different when you
things
were a
where it's
kid.
like, it's in the same realm as the Ring Around the Rosies, which is like about nuclear wars or like the plague or some shit
God
like that.
damn,
I don't know. Yeah, like they all have. I mean, all those old little
songs are
rhymes and
fucked
stuff
up.
they were built on really fucked up premises for
That's
sure.
why they lived on forever.
But all
I mean,
that
I'm
to
just saying.
say, China's going to get pissed regardless of what is
Yeah,
done to this film. So I don't know.
right.
I feel. But with that being said, that's not gonna stop Hollywood from trying to appease them, and all that gets stopped. But pretty much just say that I feel like they will absolutely have like full powered Shang-Chi by the end of the film. It may not be for very long. I think Griffin's probably right in that respect. It's definitely not going to be 45 minutes of him being a total fucking badass. But it'll build up. He's obviously going to get control of 10 rings and save the day world at that moment. Um, but it does it has enough. It harkens to a lot of stuff that I enjoyed watching as a kid that I'm gonna watch it with, not necessarily with definitely not with bated breath and not with any real major expectation, but I am expecting a very good martial arts film,
Yeah.
regardless of the actors, and whatever cultural interpretation or appropriation that is done. You know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it comes out next month, so we'll be able to check it out then if you have the opportunity to go to the theaters. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the Eternals will be released on Disney Plus. Um,
I will not, however, pay 30. Isn't it $30 right now or
That's what the last
$40?
one was. 30.
I will never pay $40 to watch a movie like that early though. As much of a fan as I am of this comic shit and Marvel properties and all that stuff, dude,
Wasn't Black Widow 30?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
You get like
$29.99.
you get like
like
20.
they're
You get like 24 hours of viewing
so
time, so you can watch as many times you want.
so so $40 to watch a movie early as many times as you want for 24 hours. That's still, it's like, man, have you guys tried to go buy a hamburger at a restaurant lately,
Yeah, I
dude?
like how
Like,
you did that. When I said 30,
in
you went straight to 40. Dude, I bought some orange juice yesterday that used to be, it's Publix orange juice. And a half gallon of that is $2, y'all, and it's good orange juice.
Right.
It's $2.70 now.
Mm.
Just like that.
70 cents increase.
Just like that.
a
It's that
Bam.
juice tax.
a dollar, what was once one
I
to
was like,
$2
whoa.
burger at a commonly
Oh, yeah, yeah.
familiar
Now you got to get
burger
the
chain around
bundles.
here. Well, their $1 to $2 cheeseburgers are
Yeah.
now $3.99.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
They got to pay people $20 an hour. I mean, 15. It's 15.
but where I'm getting at is that, like, I feel like Hollywood isn't, like, they're taking it as like nobody wants to go see our movies. It's like, it's not
Well,
that, man.
see, that's the
People can't
thing too, man.
afford
Yeah, they're
that.
also not going to go to the theater.
No,
They're not going to go to the theater. If they can't afford to buy it at home, because you go to the theater, you
not
got to
with
take the kids. And, you know, that's
not
just
with
you and your wife. What if you bring in like
yeah.
3 or 4 kids? It's like, oh my God.
I mean, not with Kappa
They're
Delta
not going.
Stigma fucking flying around.
But it's a good excuse to blame it on, you know, Pandy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, kind of like with a lot of the other films that we've watched, you know, I'll wait till it becomes available on streaming for free at the subscription level I'm already paying monthly, or you know,
We'll have to hit them
by
up and get
other
a
means.
screener copy.
Yeah. Speaking of screener, Clerks 3 official first image puts the clerks in their new quick stop uniforms. Have y'all seen the photo?
I have seen it.
This is an official first look.
I've given up on Clerks, honestly.
Why?
I mean,
What?
it's they're making it
It's
right
happening,
now.
dude.
Yeah.
I can't even remember which company was it. Big
Well,
company.
It wasn't Miramax.
No, it's big company.
I just don't see it delivering, man.
Man, I don't know, dude.
Kevin Smith is not the filmmaker he used to be, and I think you guys can agree because y'all cataloged it.
Well, there's movies in there where you're just like,
Yeah. I mean,
not a
Jay
big
and
fan
Silent
of
Bob.
yoga hosers,
Reboot.
you know?
Yeah.
Like Griffin, have you even seen Yoga Hosers?
Yeah, I've got it on Blu-ray.
Okay, you got a copy, you've seen it. What was the other one? There was another
Tusk.
one. Well, Tusk is different. That's
Red State.
There was another movie he did where it was like,
And see, here's my thing. Even after all these years, I think Kevin Smith should have kept his balls and went with that weird ass fucking ending. That would have elevated Red State on such a level, dude. Because, like, the thing is that he wanted to make a horror film about obsessive conservative Christianity. That's what Red State's about. What more terrifying ending would it have been to, like, have him be right?
my God comes back. Yeah, the
Like, have him be
that was a trip.
like regardless of your fucking belief or not, man, that would have been fucking horrifying.
Yeah. Well,
Thinking that these
when you thought that,
these uptight crazy motherfuckers, you're like, man, like they're wrong, and everyone loved the big porn joke at the end, and the ending is good. But I think if he was like, I want to make a horror film, it's like, nah, dude, let the bad guys win. That's how you execute really good horror in my book.
He didn't even have to do that. Like, if he would have ended the film when they had that sound happen and just not shown anything,
and just cut to black, cut to
Yeah.
black, dude. Yeah, that would have been that would have been like, ooh, that sent chills, dude.
Yeah, but at the same time, much like a lot of other Kevin Smith's work, that film came out ahead of its time. Because if you look at the way that he shot Red State and how Red State was presented to the audience, and then you look at something like 12 Cloverfield Lane or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or you look at like even A Quiet Place or Get Out or Us. If you look at any of these like modern, like Midsummer, if you look at any of these modern horror films, they, whether they want to admit it or not, feels like it was pulled inspiration directly from Red State, because Red State was shot like all those films were 10 to 15 years before those films were released. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was a precursor. If Red State came out today, the movie would end when those horns were playing and they look at the
that's
sky.
the kind of shit you do now. Like all the movies now just go for it.
Yeah.
They just fuck
well, I
you
mean,
at the end,
and
like,
that's and like you said, they go for it, and I think that's all the more reason why they should have had just the smallest little bit of extra money thrown into the pool to have a budget of. And dude, they could have even made it slightly comedic in that they could have had Bartleby or a dude from Dogma show up. And like he's got the flaming sword, because isn't that what one of the fucking, if I remember correctly, didn't one of the fucking, when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are talking about, whenever they're having their human dialogue, they bring up one of them had that fucking sword.
Yeah.
It would have been a cool Askew-averse tie-in, but have it to where when the horns sound, homeboy lands, you see him holding that sword in like a crazy regal way where, you know, he's holding it to his chest, the hilt to his chest, the blade's on fire and everything. And you just see those dumb fucking kids look up, and he just looks at him and just, you know, and just walks the fuck off. That would have been a fucking badass ending, dude.
Yeah. But so Clerks is being shot right now. I saw a picture. I follow Marilyn Gigliotti. I follow her on Twitter, and she's making an appearance back in Clerks 3, so she'll be coming back. And I'm not sure if they're pulling everybody from the original Clerks cast back, but of course everybody from Clerks 2 is coming back, you know, obviously.
Hopefully not that fucking Michael Jackson dance number.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but in the photo they recreate the photo from Clerks 2 where they're all propped up against the counter, and of course you have Dante, Randall, Elias, and Becky all lined up, and they recreate that photo, but it shows all of them wearing their quick stop uniforms except for Rosario Dawson. She's wearing a Movies like a North Face type jacket thing. So, but I'm gonna assume that they'll probably be finished. It's Lionsgate who's picked up the sequel, by the way. It'll probably be finished filming. I'm gonna say mid-September, because it started last week or week before last. It started at the beginning of August. It's probably only going to take 30 to 45 days to shoot.
Yeah.
And then he'll be editing it while they're doing it. So the film's going to actually be done, except for any post-production stuff, when they finish filming. And I hope to fucking God, knock on wood, cross my fingers, hope to die, you know, pocket full of posies, all of it, that he does a road show.
Oh, it'd be nice.
I would love to go see that, because he even breaks it down right here. It says the film is predicated on the idea that Randall survives a heart attack, a massive heart attack, quite like I did, and then winds up, you know, deciding that he's wasted his life. But before he dies, he wants to memorialize himself. He wants to make a movie. So our boys essentially wind up making Clerks. So it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a less cynical version of Randall that's realizing his full potential with a little bit of Be Kind Rewind thrown in there. And
no,
it's gonna
not even Be Kind Rewind, dude. They're just gonna retread the plot of Zack and Mary.
Well, what about that was one of the other ones that didn't hit off too well.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Zack and Mary originally supposed to be a Jay and Silent Bob movie?
I don't know about that.
Like,
that was going to be his kind of like.
That?
You remember all those movies that were coming out around that time that were blowing up with Seth Rogen in them? Kevin was like, I can make one of those. And he did. He made it. For some reason, it just didn't blow up.
Yeah. But, it was his Judd Apatow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Jay and Bob again.
Yeah.
Like playing Jay
Well,
and Bob by the store. That's like I think they own from the trailer.
I
Don't they
mean,
own something next door? Or,
yeah.
but I
They
mean,
have
Jay and Silent
dispensary.
Bob, they're such endearing characters that
you can put them in
you could
anything.
literally, well, like well, I'm trying to remember what movie it was where I think it's Clerks too, where the camera shots it's like an old camera filming them,
Yeah,
and Jason Mewes is just talking shit, and it's not the Click Commander thing.
yeah.
It's an actual shot. Like you see him talking. Silent Bob's behind him smoking a cigarette, and he's
Uh-huh.
just like babbling on. I can't remember what movie it was,
I know what you're talking about.
but like they could do literally 90 minutes to 2 hours of that, and I'd sit through it just
Yeah,
Yeah.
because their chemistry is so endearing, and it's their they've already established like their friendship as real people
yeah.
carries over into that in such a way that like you just can't help but enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, Smith
Like
has
they
Well,
can
and
sit
Muse
like
long enough that he can write for him. He's like, I
yeah.
know what he would say. He'd say something like this.
Yeah.
like
You know.
like, and I'm surprised they haven't done something silly like this. If they had like the Holy Bible on audiobook written by Jay or narrated by Jay.
That would be great.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Uh,
You know?
but since it's going to be Randall has the heart attack, and
Yeah.
he kind of comes to terms with like the fact that he hasn't done anything. I think that like to me, Dante and Randall, their characters are just as similarly endearing because they have that chemistry with one another, and we've seen it in 2 films. We haven't seen it in as many films as like Jay and Bob, but you have that scene from Clerks 2 where they're in jail, and then Dante's pissed at Randall because of all this crazy shit that's going on, the donkey show and all that. And Randall's basically just like,
Yeah.
I just want to go to work and hang out with my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what spurs them actually buying the quick stop and all that stuff. I think that you're going to see a version of quote unquote Clerks being made through the lens of of Randall that has been this cynical character in both of the previous Clerk films, and you're going to see like his side of everything, and it's going to have him opening up to be a more relatable and a more passionate person about his friendships and the things that's been going on in his life. And I think that that's why the movie's going to be so good, and it's going to be very emotional because of
Oh
that.
yeah.
It's gonna be like
Well, it's
Brian
gonna.
Johnson the
I
movie.
feel. Well, I
Yeah,
feel like someone's finally gonna tell Randall, not Randall, but Dante. Someone's finally gonna come up to Dante and be like, "Dude, you're not even supposed to be here," and he's gonna say something poignant like, "But I'm glad I am."
Yeah.
yeah.
Where else would I be?
So yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm very much
and
looking forward to it.
well, and absolutely. I mean, uh, the thing is although we say like, yeah, Clerks can't be Clerks without Jay and Silent Bob, but it can't be Clerks without Dante and Randall.
Of
Like
course.
they're the Clerks,
Yeah.
and so the movie doesn't need to it doesn't need to lose itself from those two characters. No matter how much they want to have Rosario Dawson on fucking screen being the fucking
Love
smart ass
interest.
woman to all of them, like no matter any of that shit, it needs to be about the shenanigans of Randall and Dante and like their one last hurrah
Yeah,
for sure. I would love a Kyle MacLachlan cameo.
I
Um,
mean,
like it would be cool to see him like show like he's coming by and he's talking to him. He's like, man, like I've been to the mall recently. Have y'all been? Man, it ain't what it used to be.
I'm
Ever
sure
since
we'll see
Brody
some
left,
cameos.
like, but yeah, like, because you got to think they're gonna like for it to be as like to be in essence a Clerks movie. We've got to have a few moments where it's literally just them behind the counter ranting about
Yeah.
modern day movies and
Oh, you're
shit.
getting
Like,
that.
and I can't wait for Randall to go. I can't wait to hear Kevin Smith put his actual opinion of movies in here through Randall because that's what he's gonna do.
What if he's dogging on what's that show? The cartoon they did on Netflix?
E-Man.
Yeah, what if he's dogging on that? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Oh, if there's
If he was like
some
just took what he
some
saw online and just because Randall's just can
yeah,
be a dick.
we'll use it to make some self-deprecating humor
Yeah.
about himself. Yeah, sure.
Well, like the last movie, they were going there to see the director Kevin Smith, so he just played his. It was like
I'm sure he's gonna use it to. He's probably gonna use it to shit all over
pretty cool though.
Marvel, Twilight, Fast Nine, and of course, we're gonna get his critique of. Like, wouldn't it be funny if the opening the opening shot of the movie is like him and Dante coming out of the theaters to watch The Rise of Skywalker, but like Randall is just flipping the fuck out, like kicking over trash cans, yelling at the theater, like going completely balls to the wall, and then you just get this big rant about the fucking new Star Wars from Randall. That
Yeah.
would be. I mean, dude. I mean, we all like us and so many other fans out there care about these characters and those movies so much that like honestly, Smith knows he could just spit on paper, and we would be like, "Thanks, Kevin."
Yeah, thanks, Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of spitting on paper,
Here we go.
The Mummy. This is what this writer said. The Mummy needs a legacy sequel with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. It says with Brendan Fraser emerging back into the spotlight in Hollywood, it's the perfect time for The Mummy to get a new legacy sequel with Fraser returning alongside Rachel Weisz. Recently, it was announced that Fraser had picked up a major role when he was cast alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro in Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon.
Whew.
The news was met with widespread celebration for the actor by fans on social media. The Brendan Fraser Renaissance, aka the Renaissance, I like what he did
I
here,
like it.
is clearly in full swing. He currently appears in a major role in the DC Universe and HBO Max series Doom Patrol, with season 3 set to premiere in September. Fraser has also been cast in a lead role in Requiem for a Dream Helmer Darren Aronofsky's next movie, The Well. Another big win for the actor. Given that we're still living through Hollywood's reboot era, so to speak, the possibility of revisiting Fraser's Mummy movies needs to be on the table. I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, like, would I check it out if it came out? Sure, but like, no Mummy movie that's ever come out's been as good as that first one. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
think
the
you're
best
right.
of 'em, right?
Absolutely. I
Like,
think you're right in that regard for sure, man. I think also, I don't know. I would like to think that whoever pens a good script for the Mummy
yeah,
that would make it to green lighting like that, it would need to be written by someone that absolutely enjoyed those movies. I
Yeah.
think it would, someone like us that grew up watching them, and I can remember a small time as a kid where, you cut on TNT and you catch in the last half of the Mummy, dude.
yeah,
Like, and I'm sure it can be done. I don't know about. I don't necessarily see Brendan Fraser, regardless of his physique and how he preps for this film. I don't necessarily see him Temple of Dooming his way through a fucking pyramid anymore. But it would be interesting. It's far enough and far enough removed from its original film that it would be it, it it- it's fitting for him to do what we're wanting and still not getting from Indiana Jones. And that's a film where, maybe he's more of oh man, he's more of the Sean Connery. He plays Indy's
yeah,
dad a little bit, like he's still gonna be in the pyramids with everybody, but like, let him be the old man, let him be the one that trips and has to be saved by the young new actor and stuff, but still let Brendan Fraser be the one to deliver the exposition to the fans. Like, we want to hear it, like, because he's,
yeah,
if you have a movie set in the future, he needs to be the guy with all the knowledge. Like,
yeah.
okay, like, and
He's been
and
doing it
his
a long
purpose
time,
for even being there. Yeah, like, even have it reluctant.
and
That's where you can get some good comedic delivery from Fraser, where they're like, hey, we want you to come to Egypt, and he's
Yeah.
and he's pretty much like,
I
I've
look
been
good.
there.
He's only
Well,
52 years old. He could fucking, if he nailed a big
yeah.
role like that action movie, he'd slim up.
Yeah.
He'd get a
Well,
trainer, and it ain't
well,
nothing a
and
stunt double can't do. So
well,
he
and
could
not
get
only that, but
physical.
I believe it was in like the last film or the last two films. They had their children, right? They had a child. So I think that absolutely
Oh
they could
yeah,
play on that idea
of
to
course.
where, you've got the child that's getting involved in all this stuff. He needs help from Pops.
Yeah,
Guess who shows up and tries to help save the day and inadvertently makes it worse. But you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Just little
Like,
movies
Yeah,
where
I
we
mean,
check
dude,
on in
you
on
could
them for the
even
first time in a long time.
yeah, and going
So
with that, and tapping into the Sean Connery aspect, have the kid be a little hellion like Brendan was when we catch him at the beginning of the first Mummy.
yeah,
He's kind of he's kind of he charts his own path. It kind of gets him in trouble. Sometimes he gets Pirates of the Caribbean strung up somewhere and he's got to escape or some shit like that. And when he finally gets home, someone's like, you did good out there, and he's like, okay, uh, but your dad wants to talk to you, and he's like, fuck.
it's funny that you say that because the Mummy influenced Pirates movies so much, and I never made that connection before. You know what I
yeah. The
mean?
way
Like,
it's even to the way it's shot.
Yeah, like
If
yeah,
you think
it's
about
the
it,
same.
it might be the same cinematographer, dude. Those shots, the way they
yeah,
would do the action scenes,
yeah. I
Wasn't
mean,
it?
that's
What,
the
it's
way the scenes
what
are shot, and like
didn't Bruckheimer have anything to do with those properties?
maybe. I think he did. I know he did for Pirates.
he worked on
So,
Um,
Pirates.
but
for sure.
you have it where because I mean it was honestly the same approach that Jeff Goldblum made in the sequel to Jurassic Park. Like in that movie, he wasn't all life finds a way. He was like, I ain't going back to that fucking island.
And that
And
was
then
1999, dude.
because of shenanigans, he's back in the fray. I mean, they can. I mean, the movie can write itself.
Yeah, for sure. So next up, we have James Gunn has more plans for DC's villain verse. That's what they're calling it. Even though American film director James Gunn spent a month prior to the release of The Suicide Squad telling fans not to get too attached to any of the characters, it seems like the director himself is a bit more attached to their future than anyone realized. With Gunn already helming the Peacemaker spin-off series for HBO Max, he has hinted that that it is very likely not his last date with the Task Force X members. Warner Brothers has made no secret that they are looking to greatly expand their DC output on HBO Max, pretty much in the same way Disney and Marvel have been utilizing the Disney Plus platform. And it looks like those plans could include a number of other character spin-offs and another Suicide Squad sequel. Talking to Entertainment Tonight, Gunn said, I have all sorts of ideas, and we talk about it all the time. So I don't feel I'm done with this villain verse shit. While Gunn has said that his Suicide Squad is neither a reboot or a sequel to David Ayer's Suicide Squad, it does feature some of the same characters, most notably Harley Quinn and Rick Flag, played in both movies by Margot Robbie and Joel Kinnaman, respectively. The director has also had the luxury of choosing which other character he wanted in his motley crew, which ended up including Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, Polka Dot Man, and King Shark. When they first came to me, it was really about what DC project I wanted to do. The first thing they brought up was Superman, and the second thing they brought up was Suicide Squad. So those were the first two projects, and then I had another project that they never brought up, never thought of. A couple of other ones that we talked a little bit about. People have talked about crypto. They know that I brought that they know that I brought that up at one point. So there's different characters that came up that interested me. And I just took some time and started sketching out what the different stories could be with these different characters. It was obvious from the very beginning that Suicide Squad just captured my imagination. It was the most fun. People were like, why didn't you do Superman or Justice League? I found this to be the most creatively fulfilling story. I know someone's going to do a Superman movie again. I don't know that Polka Dot Man's going to get his story if I don't tell it. Um, so I mean, it sounds to me like James Gunn is going to be bouncing back and forth between Marvel and Warner Brothers for the foreseeable future. I'm going to imagine,
Cool.
right? Well, it makes
Well,
sense though.
I
that
think
last
this means
statement.
that Suicide Squad, the numbers were good.
Yeah,
Well, that last statement he made as well. I couldn't agree more with him.
Yeah.
Like,
Ain't nobody
Suicide
gonna tell
Squad is
Polka
his
Dot Man's
style.
story, right?
Well, that, and also the fact that, like, James Gunn is a fantastic filmmaker.
Yeah.
But like any filmmaker, they know when their style will work and when it won't.
It worked for
And
Polka
his
Dot Man.
style and his style for Superman is Superman's scope is so restricted because
Yeah.
of the
James
character
Gunn
being
doesn't make
Superman.
Superman movies.
No, he makes Polka Dot Man movies.
Yeah.
Like that's his like he's
Guardians of the
able
Galaxy, like,
like bizarre
and
shit,
he does
which
a
is
good job
fine.
at it.
Absolutely. This is by no means a critique or a
Yeah.
bad
I
criticism or
get
something
what
like
you're
that. But
saying.
I think that like I think he's just smart in knowing that like he knows that like could he write a really good Superman movie? Possibly. But I think visually
And
his
his
style
style is a
is
no
too
go.
his his style is too
In your
it's
face? I don't.
not it's well just think of like think of Guardians, think of
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, think of
I
Brightburn,
can't
think of
imagine, yeah, a Superman
like
movie.
that's not Superman style filmmaking.
No.
Like he's good at like he has more dark humor than is required
Yeah.
for Superman. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's a case of just the artist knowing his limits and knowing his parameters
Yeah.
while still being innovative and discovering new shit he can do.
But I'm down, man. I'd like to see more. I mean, dude, they're making a Peacemaker series. If they
Oh,
were
it's already
like,
wrapped.
yeah, they're done. It's coming out soon. But if they made a Polka Dot Man series that was him before he died getting tested on, and I'd watch
Yeah,
that. You know,
I
I mean,
know,
shit,
right?
whatever they
Yeah.
want to make. I'm
Or
not saying it's gonna
well
happen. I get why
if anything,
Peacemaker's getting a
if
series. You know,
anything,
more.
it would now that we have his story, whether we get to visually have seen his origins or not, we're now familiar as an audience with Polka Dot Man
Yeah,
to the point
we
that
know the
like,
pain that he went through.
well,
We can go
having
back and
him
watch
fight,
it and be like,
well, actually having him show up in a Batman story
sure,
would be cool.
he's
Because
over
if
the
I'm not
corner all
mistaken,
lumpy.
Polka Dot Man is he's a Batman villain.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. So
But I'm
Yeah,
down with it.
but yeah, I mean, whatever Gunn decides
Hey,
to do, like he knows who he is and who he appeals to and what he's capable of doing. So he's not. It makes sense that he went for Suicide Squad over Superman because, like you guys just said, and it makes me interested because like if Suicide Squad's been successful enough, like they came to him after the Marvel stuff happened and was like, you can basically pick what project you want. Now they're going to come like, and I guarantee you, he's like, look, just let me try it and see what happens. Because he went so far in left field with it, you know, with having Starro and all this other crazy shit happening, and it worked and it made sense, and the fans really liked it. Like now, he can actually take DC properties and do legitimately whatever he wants to do with any of them. I think that they took a chance with him on the Suicide Squad film. I think it's paying off for Warner Brothers, and I think now that he's actually going to be able to go in and do whatever crazy nonsense he wants to do, you know.
yeah,
And I think, and I'm excited. I mean, he's a fantastic filmmaker. He's got a very unique style, a very interesting way that he handles his shit.
yeah,
So I'm good with it.
yeah. He's perfect for that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he gets the comedy. He sees the comedy in the situation with
Yeah,
like, well, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's got to be over the top. So let's ground it
yeah,
with the music and humor. You know, Suicide Squad, it's a bunch of villains going on missions. So let's ground it in the fact that these villains are trying to one up each other. Like they would never work together under any normal situation, but now they're going to have to. So let's have fun with it. Let's have them interact the
yeah,
way they naturally would, you know? So, last up here, Taika Waititi is now focused on his Star Wars movie and really excited about the story. So, this is what he had to say about it. It's still in the exterior space stage, Waititi said, out of where Star Wars is at, referring to the format used in scripts to set up the scene. But we've got a story. I'm really excited by it because it feels very me. When asked when asked if it's been a challenge to bring his style of filmmaking to the operatically sincere Star Wars universe, Waititi responded, "I tend to go down that little serenity alleyway in my films. I like to fool the viewer into thinking, ha, it's this, and then them going, damn it, you made me feel something."
Oh.
Um, he said, while Star Wars is becoming front and center for Waititi, there's another project near and dear to him that he's still working on getting developed. He's still hoping to get the long gestating live action adaptation of Akira made, noting that he doesn't want to give up on that. Meanwhile, he's also committed to making a sequel to What We Do in the Shadows, along with a Flash Gordon remake and animated adaptations of Roland Dahl stories for Netflix. That's not to mention recently wrapping Thor Love and Thunder. It's my comfort zone to have a lot of things going on, Waititi said of being such a workhorse. That chaos is where my best work comes from. Someone said to me, you need a break, man." Yeah, but I felt like I was on break for 35 years. I'm working now. I don't want to stop. People are like, "Oh, you just popped out of nowhere." Yeah, but I worked for 10 years straight before Marvel gave me a call, he said.
Yeah.
I was I was not just fucking around. I've evolved as a storyteller. And then it goes into like, all this kind of stuff. I would want to do any kind of movie if it made sense and if it felt not like career suicide, Taika Waititi said. It's cool. Like, Feige is stepping into the
Yeah.
Marvel, or the Star Wars universe at some point. So to me, like,
This is
to
great.
me, it feels like Star Wars is like, who's worked at Disney before?
Yeah.
How's their track record?
Oh.
Can we get them over here at Star Wars real quick?
Well, dude, I'm gonna make a real estate prediction right now. This movie ain't even. We
All
don't
right.
even know any details.
He's not
It's
even
gonna be a
writing it
banger,
yet.
dude.
I
You know what I'm
think
saying?
so. Yeah.
This dude, that's all he puts out.
Yeah.
Like we watch, like, what was it, Ragnarok, the TV
Yeah.
show, What We Do in the Shadows, like, and then you switch over and you get what was it, Jojo Rabbit, a
Yeah.
movie
Oh my
like that,
God.
and you're like, and you loved it,
Yeah.
and it was just like, whoa, this dude can do anything.
Yeah. And that's what he was saying about, like, you made me feel something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that movie in particular,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, was so heartfelt, coming from such a weird place. You know what I mean?
It was his Schindler's List. You know what I
Like,
mean?
literally.
Like
Like,
really, it
literally.
was. It was like
Yeah.
that's what he did,
Yeah.
even with the dress.
Yeah.
Remember in Schindler's List, the girl in the red dress, and he even did that in the
Yeah.
when the thing didn't, the color was gone,
Yeah.
but the shoes. I mean, y'all know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But dude,
I
he was
do.
gonna make a great Star Wars movie, and I think I remember it was like he's focusing on some other shit. It's in the
Yeah.
universe, but it
I feel
ain't.
like
We're getting off the main storyline, guys. The main storyline's finished.
I feel like it's I feel like he's gonna have Wookiees and Ewoks in his film, just because that seems like a Taika Waititi thing to
Yeah,
do.
and those
Like he's
motherfuckers over there in the corner going, fist pumping.
Motherfucking fist pumping.
It's gonna be good.
But that was all the movie news that I saw that was interesting. There was a lot of stuff talking about, upcoming Marvel stuff, how COVID's going to affect it. Of course, people were talking about Suicide Squad and what the future of DC is. And one of the things, I didn't drop it in here, but I guess it's worth noting, is that, Affleck's coming back and he's going to shoot some scenes for Flashpoint in, I think it's September or October. And we have seen set photos of his stunt double riding around on the bat cycle thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was from that. So, um,
Exciting shit.
there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things coming down, but it's like with everything being delayed because of COVID, and then the stuff that we are getting, and then the unknown of like what's actually going to happen with some of that stuff, we're still kind of in COVID purgatory at the moment.
Dude. It's limbo, bro.
Yeah, and until like
How's
one
your
or two
Pauline?
things happens, Yeah. She's like, "You're poorly. She's dead." Until somebody finally figures out exactly what they're going to do and how, this whole pandemic situation is going to be handled, then we're just going to have to roll with it,
Yeah, I got another
I,
real safe
I
prediction. This is just how it's going to be from now on.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, here's the thing. I fully plan on going and watching Shang-Chi in theaters. Since it's not coming to Disney Plus, I fully 100% am banking on going and watching
Yeah, I
that
want to
for
see it.
sure.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see it.
Yeah.
Got Tim
And
Roth
I
in
don't
it.
have and I don't have a problem with the movie theaters opening back up, and I'm not going to
No.
get into the whole vaccination
Well,
and all that kind
we
of
don't live in
discussion,
large
but
cities, man.
yeah, I know, right?
So that helps.
Yeah, for sure.
So it ain't that bad to go. Like,
No, and I'm
you'll
fine
probably be
with
the
it.
only one there.
Well, I hope so.
I
I
can't
think I'm
tell
going
you
to
how
try to
many
go.
times I went down there to that newer theater in the borough
Yeah.
and watched a movie, and I would always go like 2-3 weeks after it came out when they've already moved it to the smaller screen.
Yeah, on a mid Sunday.
And it's about to leave soon. Catching a matinee, dude, I'll be the only one in there. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Private screening for your boy G,
Yeah. So, and I'll probably try to go watch it with my brother,
Yeah.
which will be fun. And because we haven't been to the movies together since was
Been a
it
while,
Spider-Man? It was the last Spider-Man movie because it was me, both my brothers, and Corey White and his old lady.
Well, it'll be nice to come out of there and have somebody to talk to about it in the parking lot. That's always
that
fun.
actually gives a shit. Yeah.
Because if you go to the theater and you don't talk about that movie when you came out, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
So that's how you know. 4 hours parking lot.
Yeah. It was a podcast that was never recorded.
I know. It was a wandering podcast because we were all standing up, legs hurting.
Yeah.
Mom spaghetti. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure those were the smoking days.
Definitely the
wasn't even vaping
days.
then.
No.
So you couldn't wait to get outside,
Oh,
as soon as you walked out the door, you'd be pulling the pack out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Had the lighter in your hand already.
Yeah, right. Already thumbing
As soon as you walk out the door, light that bitch.
Yeah.
We outside now. I miss the days where you could smoke in a theater. I'm just kidding. Like, could you imagine being in there, dude?
It was just a fog cloud.
So this one dude lights a cigar. You hear him clip it. And it's like, come on, man.
Like, oh God, it's about to smell real good in here.
But the problem is with the projector and the smoke.
Yeah.
Like you can see. You know what I mean? It's like, no, get out.
It's like trying to drive in fog. Might as well pull over.
Why? He got a cigar out.
Yeah, fucking bitch boy over here.
All right, I'm getting to the trailers.
Yeah, we've got some good trailers here, Trav. I dropped a trailer that I've been holding back on for no particular reason because, I forgot about it.
I was going to say you remembered it.
Yeah, I remember. The first trailer is what reminded me. That Prisoners of the Ghostland is what reminded me. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I bookmarked this IMDb page at work like fucking forever ago.
It did trigger it. You were like, there's this movie.
Yeah. we got a trailer for it. But so tomorrow night, Trav. No, it was either the 18th or the 19th. They're doing a in-home screening for 24 hours of The Green Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that might be possible to do next week. Maybe.
Possibly.
We're not sure yet. Possibly. So that's in our back pocket. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild card.
Yeah, wild card Wednesday.
But this wild card won't blow you up and send you to the gulag.
Those are the worst wild cards. Yeah.
Wild card. I've got this trailer up.
Have you seen this Nick Cage trailer?
Asking the same thing.
No.
Mm.
Are you ready for it?
All right.
I'm gonna make a real estate prediction. By the end of the trailer, Trav's gonna be rocking a hard chub. You know what I mean?
I'm already like playing with mine.
Well, let's fucking do it,
Like
dude.
like the monkey on top of that van in Wild
Yeah, dude.
Boys.
I'm just like, it's just fumbling. I'm just twiddling it. Like, all right, here we go. 3,
Let's
2,
do
1, play. It's Otis, Trav. Can't remember his.
Bill Mosley.
That's it. Wow. The Nuggets. You saw the producers, right?
Yeah.
A pit boy. Nah. It looks like a busted up pit boy, right? Is that guy Fate? Oh, I am radioactive. That looks interesting.
Yeah.
Are you chubbing, Trav?
Uh I mean, it's got all the check marks.
I think I just filled the cup. Man, this right here's a trip. Griffin's
if
busted this shit on me after that trailer, and I
yeah,
am down to watch this.
if Nick Cage didn't give you a chub, this may do it, Trav.
All right.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Man, I like the way that looks.
I know.
There's something about the way that was shot on like a sound stage. This fucking thing, dude. Num nums.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Right? I mean,
Like, I'm interested.
That's got to go in the pot, right? In
Yeah.
the stew.
I think I'm gonna put the link in there.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
needs to
Right.
go. Hang on, I'm fucking with two PCs. Let me do this one. What was it? Movie list. Just because sometimes, dude, man, this has happened a lot, guys. Whenever I go back and listen to an old episode, because recently we just made the full transition, Griffin. We're off SoundCloud. We're now on
Really?
Anchor fully, and everything pulled over. I went through and played, made sure. It's amazing how that worked.
Yeah,
Because I was like,
right.
I'm gonna have to upload all of them again. You know, it was like Anchor was like, we
Right.
got you, buddy. But
Everybody.
and like the SoundCloud is run out, so like it's full. It
So we're good.
We're good. But when I went back
Hell
to
yeah.
listen to stuff, because I listened for a while, I'm just making sure. And then I
Yeah.
get caught up in it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. But we be talking about all kinds of shit, and then never mention it again. Like,
Yeah.
so it's good to have
That's
a
why they.
list, because man, we just talk so much. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
if you didn't bookmark it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But I have the next trailer pulled up.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do it, man.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, you know what she's trying to do?
Yeah.
It's like Bridesmaids, but just two of them. Wait, what happened? Uh-oh.
She dead?
Oh. Yeah.
Rebel. Rebel wasn't available, you know?
Yeah. Well, she lost too much weight. This movie wasn't made for me. I'm not trying to feel this good. I hate you playing music. It's Ghost. There was a TV show like that I watched a little bit of recently where the guy dies and it's like, oh, okay, you're here now. And it's like woke society. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know? Like when I saw what heaven looked like, I was like, I don't want to go there. Yeah.
I mean, it was on the thing. It popped up a couple of times. I didn't know
Oh
what
no,
to
yeah,
expect.
dude. I ain't
You
bashing the
know.
trailer just 'cause you dropped it.
Nah, it's fine.
No, dude, don't get upset.
It's
We
fine.
all be dropping some duds in here. You got to it before me. I was in the store and I started getting notifications. I was like, damn, he's already doing trailers.
Well, as soon as I got through eating, I started doing troubleshooting, so that
Yeah,
didn't take long, you know. So
didn't take long at
the
all. It's like
survivalist.
troubleshooting. Yeah, still fucked up.
Yeah, check.
Okay, the survivalist. I wasn't just
It's got
bashing
mouth
your
issues.
trailer, dude.
No, I
Don't be
know. I'm
like that.
fucking with you.
Now I feel
I'm fucking
bad
with you.
because you took the time out of your day to go pull it and drop it. But I mean, you ain't gonna watch that shit.
I mean, I
You ain't
might.
gonna watch that shit, dude, ever.
when
Come
it
on.
comes out,
Your
am I
old lady
married?
don't even like shit like that, dude. Y'all ain't watching
Okay. No, I mean, like, but in another situation, then I would definitely be watching that shit. You know what I
that. You
mean?
might watch it just because I said that and be like, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's my favorite
I
film
give it a
of the
crooked
year.
star.
Yeah,
All
I
right, the
give it a
survivalist.
crooked star. Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Crooked star.
How do you even make a star crooked?
I don't know, dude.
Turn it a little bit. Upside down star. For a minute, I thought it was the Ghostbuster music. It's got a weird filter on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a herder, you know? We're taking the girl. Bro, he does the same character every movie.
Yeah.
And that's just him. Like, dude, imagine him, John Malkovich, in Die Hard.
Oh my
Instead
god.
of fucking Professor Snape. And he's like, we're coming in the building. Place the money by the elevator, you know? I like him, though. I'm going to say something weird, but like, John Malkovich is a really good bad actor. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean
sure.
when I say that?
Well,
Yeah,
he's
I
good.
do.
Well, all he ever does is play perplexed characters.
Yeah,
Like, I
but
don't
he's
know what's
really
going
good at it.
on.
He does a
There's a
good
lack of
job.
common sense in the room. That kind of shit.
He did a good job on that Space Force show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've
When's
never.
that
I mean,
coming back? Oh yeah, you
He's
always
never.
like him.
He to me, he was one of the best parts of Red.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, it was. But y'all know what I mean when I say that, because
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like, could you imagine him and like, you know?
Dude, could you imagine him and Larry David sharing the screen?
Yeah, that would be
God,
nuts.
too much. Yeah, too
But
much.
like Tarantino's, like I tried to put him in a movie, but he just talks so slow. Because you know, there's so much dialogue he's got to get through.
Yeah, they cut his
What's
lines back by
behind the
80%.
green
What was
door?
the what was the movie that he was in we saw where like one of the running gags was that like he had to go all the way across this campus to get his card to go back all the way to the other, you had to see just this long montage of him walking over this ridiculous amount of distance just to get his card to
I'm
come
not
back to get
pulling
into
it.
the facility.
Was
I
it?
can't remember.
Was it Space Force? Was it Space Force?
I think that yeah.
Because they think they remember when
Yeah.
they let him go, and then they
Yeah, he
bring him
had to
back
get
later,
his
and they're like, "Oh yeah, we
yeah.
need you."
Yeah, he needed his clearance pass. I just remember that shot being really funny.
I'm glad y'all, because I was kind of worried to say that. I was like, he's a really, really good bad actor.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
no,
I get it.
Okay.
because it's not well. You could chalk the bad acting up to him. Like he plays a good awkward
Yeah,
person.
and he looks awkward.
Yeah,
He looks like he just the way he sounds, he fits it. It's like that's the face. That's the
yeah,
face that makes that noise for sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
This is a
Oh
Snake
yeah.
Eye. This is GI Joe stuff, right? I'm
Yeah, this is
lost
the full trailer. Yeah.
because I think I've only seen the first GI Joe movie. I didn't see anything after, but I had them as a kid.
I think this is a prequel.
I think so.
So it's good.
Yeah,
A movie
the trailer
about
I saw before was pretty good. But
you could lay this on someone just with the name alone and be like, "Yo, guys, watch this. Watch this like thriller movie about somebody at a casino."
mhm.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
That's the lie you perpetuate to your girlfriend to get her to go watch it.
It's got Kevin Spacey in it.
Does this?
Oh man,
No,
Oh, whoa,
the
dude.
the Snake Eyes, the other Snake Eyes
I
movie.
know. Okay.
he's the
Who was in
brawler.
that? Who was in that card count movie?
Oh, that's what y'all talking about. Okay.
Why is the cinematic definition of hard work for an inmate is always like
They're gutting
working at
fish.
these shitty warehouses?
Well, in this country, it's probably true.
Oh yeah, it plays this song. I'm on a new level.
It is. I know where is home. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, he's famous.
That tuna you cut for the king was exquisite.
Oh, so like he's cutting up fish and then come find out he's like some master fucking swordsman, you know?
Well,
Like he's being trained.
he goes from cutting up fish to cutting up people, Adam.
I'm on a new
Not a
level. It should have kicked in right there.
not a
There it
drop
goes.
spill.
But it would have been nice on
No, that's gonna be at the title
Dude,
card.
if you catch a new bowl like I like that, he caught the bowl with chopsticks. This does kind of look good though. Like
Looks like a
it makes
goofy
you want to
action
check it out
film.
just to see, because you know it's time for a reboot or relaunch, and this might be the one. You know,
Yeah.
got to give it a chance. Look at this fucking. I mean, I'm liking this shit. Because one of my favorite little G.I. Joe guys was a little ninja dude.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. It's like a prequel, but they still have badass shit.
It says buy it on digital August the 17th. So it's now available now?
Well, let's transfer. I mean, this might have to be next week if, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
hang on.
I mean, why? I mean, why not? You know,
Here's what I'll do.
I'm on a
I'll
new level
confirm it before.
before the end of the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm on a new level.
I like the song. When he caught that bowl, though, they missed a fucking opportunity there.
Yeah. I mean, I can't catch a bowl.
Yeah,
Not like that.
not with
You
fucking
know?
chopsticks.
No, hell no.
And it should have hit that bed bugs in the motel.
It's like, what does it have to do with him catching a bowl? It sounds good. Do it.
I can't remember this dude's name.
Oh shit.
What was
John
his,
Barenthal?
what was his name on Walking Dead?
Shane?
It was Shane. Was that it? It was Shane.
Yeah.
Wow.
You slept with Shane. Where's Coral?
Yeah, and then he's just spinning around in a circle, and the camera's going around him in a loop. And he's like, "Coral," you know.
Yeah, right.
Calm down.
Can we kind of take a step back real quick and do an additional movie news moment real quick?
I mean, what do you have?
Not necessarily movie news, but it is a voice actor, and I think they deserve just as much credit as an on-screen actor. Um, Christine, I feel like I'm mispronouncing her name. Christine Louise, uh, she's died. She was killed. Her murderer has been arrested, but she's known to be the voice of Mercy from Overwatch, Cortana from Halo, Severe from
Damn.
League of Legends. Very
Some
unfortunate
big
to
voices
hear.
there.
Yeah, but yeah, it's stuff that I figured you guys would be familiar with. I know I certainly was as a Mercy main in Overwatch when I did play. I was acquainted with her voice acting.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
It is
Yeah, but
crazy.
just rest in peace to her.
We need to bring
Yeah, that
back the
sucks.
Tinseltown stiffs, and I'm not. We got that from a podcast. I'm not. I didn't make the joke.
Yeah, I'm on a new level. Small engine repair.
It's out of gas. No, we'll see. A little two-stroke.
Yeah, well,
I think that's what they call them, right? A little weed eater. It's a
two stroke.
two-stroke. You got to mix
You
the
can't.
gas with the oil. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck
with the
that, dude. They just need to make one that runs. Get out of here with this mixing shit.
Yeah, right.
Just let me put gas in here, dude. Do your thing. Like, you get an electrical, and it'll last. It's like it lasts an hour and a half. You use it 25 minutes. You're recharging it, plugging it up. Like,
Yeah.
anyway.
Or you're dragging an extension cord around,
Yeah.
you know?
You end up cutting that bitch in half.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm on a new level.
all right, here we go. 3, 2,
Oh.
1, play. Damn.
Oh, shit.
My homie is in there. Okay. Somebody's gonna die. Something traumatic's gonna happen, dude, when he gets out. That looks like the girl from Dexter.
Yeah.
Right? Was it Dexter? It was something. She's familiar. He always does a good job. Something bad's gonna happen, dude. Because this is just too happy. Here we go. They got a prostitute coming. Why is he hanging out with this young kid? Did he do something to his daughter? Oh, he is, dude. He he may have raped her or something. You know,
Yeah.
I get that kind of. I'm gonna fuck you up, dude. But he's going fucking. He's getting people involved.
That well, I mean, I kind of want to watch
It
it.
looks like a trip, dude.
Like, what's going on here?
I'm fucking definitely marking it.
Yeah.
Definitely not the goat kart racing film I thought
Nah,
it'd
dude.
be.
I was like, it's too happy, man. Something.
Yeah.
They're
Way too
smiling too
happy.
much.
Yeah. Everybody's too happy.
Somebody's gonna die, and it's like, yeah, this motherfucker. I'm gonna sue you. It's like you're gonna be fucking swimming with the fishes.
Ooh. Wild Indian. It's got Jesse Eisenberg in it. You know?
What are you gonna call out some fuck?
Eisenberg, because he's a virgin. You know,
Yeah.
Eisenberg.
I still haven't seen that movie. Remember that movie? We saw the trailer for it where they give them a house to live in. There's nobody around.
Yeah, and they have a baby.
Yes, I
Yeah.
still gotta check that out. I think about that from
Yeah.
time to time. Like, I need to watch that movie just to see if it's even about it.
Yeah.
He's either gonna be really loud, quick, and explosive.
Or he's gonna be like you know, like,
or he's gonna talk with a whisper like, I don't know what we're doing now.
Well, Jesse Eisen whisper.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2. What'd you say?
I said I was just gonna say let's peep it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
All these Sundance.
Wait, is he playing? All right, we're hanging out with the Rezzies. Has a what was that movie with Spider-Man in it that had R-Pat
Um,
with the little church and the y'all know what I'm talking about.
the devil. What was it?
The
The
Devil
devil
All the
all the
Time.
time.
That was it. All these movies look like they're shot by the same people. Just this changed real quick. A minute ago, we were shooting a 22 in the woods. You know what did he do? Where's Jesse Eisenberg at? He might kill him.
Are we gonna get the Native American version of Blue Ruin?
Kind of what it looks like.
Somebody's gonna get out of jail, and dude's gonna be like, "I was waiting on your ass."
Yeah, you sold me out. You did the crime and I went down for it. There he
Yeah.
is. They ain't even gonna let him speak. It does look serious. Mhm. I have to peep on that. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I think this next one might be a horror film.
That dude looks familiar.
Yeah.
Is that the guy
I'm
from Entourage?
Kind of looks like him, doesn't it? That's exactly who I thought he looked like. That guy. I don't know his name, but
He was in a lot of rom-coms back in the
yeah,
day.
a lot of late '90s, 2000s.
He played the edgy thumb on the pulse friend that was always there, like, "Hey
Yeah,
man,
man. That's wearing eyeliner because he
we're
definitely
going to
wears
Maddie's.
eyeliner.
We're going to Maddie's for a party. You oughta come."
I can't drive. Y'all ready?
That's okay. Yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
Clickbait. 3, 2, 1, play. It's a Netflix movie.
In a world where people still don't use ad block.
Bro, I think that's him. I'm pretty sure that's him. It don't just look like him. That's that guy. He looks like his name's Pat. Oh yeah, dude. Snake Eyes as a go. Damn. You got caught in 4K. Oh, he's like famous and getting blackmailed or something.
It looks like some Saw shit, but they turned it down. You know, tuned it down a little bit.
Sawed it off a little.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Well, what if he's ripping everybody off and all those views is generating money?
Yeah,
Definitely getting
possibly.
paid.
He's doing a heist.
A click heist? A clost?
I mean, it would be the first.
Yeah, right.
We gotta reel what we do in the Shadows trailer. It's a trailer, not just that, the scene of them trying to sell shit.
I'm excited about this.
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ready, Trav?
Mhm.
3, 2, 1, play. Here we go. Nope. That's never gonna happen. Oh, they're joining the council.
Mhm.
Ooh, they're going out in the public, getting a little more money. I can't wait to see their show. This show's great, man. Remember at first, I'm like, they're gonna replace the cast. Oh, but this is a
Then
good
Matt
cast.
Bailey got added.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're funny.
I'm excited,
He
man.
does a good Nando.
Yeah. Bob Ross. Happy accidents, betrayal, and greed.
Oh my god.
I mean, how? Like, what?
What could be the
What?
drama behind Bob Ross?
Yeah.
The happy
I,
accident.
I like this top comment. This better not turn us against Bob Ross. I'm guessing it's a story of people trying to take advantage of the wholesome Bob Ross.
Hmm. Let's see.
Let's peeper.
3, 2, 1, play. Huh? Hmm?
Whoa. What a ballsy way to make a trailer. You know?
And it was Netflix. I was like, who did this?
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back, Netflix.
Yeah. I hope it's a film and not a series. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to, you know. But yeah, man.
Snake
So
Eyes
Snake Eyes next week, is it available?
available.
So if all right, look
Yeah.
I mean,
Green Knight overrides.
if Green Knight shows up between tomorrow, I think it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
What you said.
between tomorrow and Sunday, then we'll do
give it
that.
till the weekend.
Yeah, because I'll rent
Mhm.
whatever we need to watch by
Yeah, watch
Sunday.
it for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he'll tell us what happened.
yeah, so we can do the podcast on,
Yeah.
of course. You know,
He'll be taking
So-
notes. Or he'll just, well, what we're gonna do is somebody's gonna pay for it, and we'll do a Discord watch
Well,
party, which is legal.
yeah. We're all going to meet up at my house and watch it.
I like the
Right?
Discord thing,
Yeah.
but we could do
So,
that too. But yeah,
so if it's not available, Green Knight's happening. If it's not available, we're doing Snake Eyes.
that's it.
Let
I'm
me,
all right with either
let me
one.
make, let me make a fucking note.
Yeah. Because we'll just forget about it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What we say?
Yeah. What were we watching?
Green Knight.
All right.
That's not out. It's like we did a whole podcast about it.
All right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope that it's that I have a chance to rent it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I hope the car goes through.
Yeah, I know, right? So, you know.
Checks in the mail.